Hey guys, today's video's a bit different. I'm going to be just showing and talking about my old figures from when I used to paint and play war games. So here we go. I used to collect an army for Games Workshop's Warhammer Fantasy game. I collected for some of their other games as well, but this was the main one I was interested in. The army I played was the High Elves. So here are two of my Silver Helms, the standard cavalry unit of that race in the game. The tails broke off of their horses very easily, unfortunately, so few of my mounted units have the tails still attached to their horses. And I used to joke about them being Manx horses, you know, like Manx cats that don't have tails. This is a Dragon Prince, a slightly more elite cavalry unit. I only have the one of them though, and yes, he's mounted on a horse rather than a dragon. There's reasons for it in lore, so go read up on that. This guy is a mounted prince. That just means lord in high elf terminology. And he was going to be my general, and I tried to paint him as such. Golden armor, everything. He had a magic shield called a dragon scale shield, and I tried to paint that on too, doing a reasonable-ish job, if I do say so myself. This guy is meant to be a mage that I made out of bits from my bits box, hence his staff being made out of a spear and a symbol from a shield. He's probably the high elf unit I'm most proud of my own painting on. These are three Swordmasters of Hoeth. They're like these elite greatsword wielding badasses who I quite like for that reason. Swords are cool, okay? I'm thinking of repainting them to use in D&D. This is a terrain piece I made up that's basically a memorial statue to some elf hero bloke I never came up with a background for. All I really did for it was stick an old unused wood elf warrior that was among my first minis onto the lid of an old paint pot that I had noted could be easily used for the purpose, stuck some bits from my bits box on, and painted it grey with some green bits for moss. I still think it turned out quite well. I also have some assorted Games Workshop models, such as this orc with a big gun who I had to glue onto a spare air unit's base because he was slightly unbalanced, and this tyrannid termagaunt, if I remember my terminology correctly. I also used to collect Uruk-hai army for the Games Workshop's Lord of the Rings war game. I actually converted this guy into the general of my army, at the least until I got a Saruman figure, which I never did. These are some of his soldiers, a warrior and a pikeman, or more correctly, pike orc. This is a Lord of the Rings high elf I painted in green and gave a shield and a sheathed sword for my Warhammer high elves, and left him at that. This is my Aragorn miniature from the Fellowship box set from Games Workshop, and is the one from it I feel best about, to be honest. The others are rather flat or not very well painted, and I probably need to just go back and paint all my models again. This is an Imperial Human Priest of Sigmar, painted as a priest of a model I'll show next time that I intended on using in D&D. Now I say next time, as I've got rather a lot of models, not just Games Workshop ones, and I thought that it would be a good place to stop with just the Games Workshop figures this time. The others are from a variety of sources, some of which I can't even remember. So, see you next time! Understand yourself is the beginning of wisdom. Jiddu Krishnamurti.